town to town until Mom convinced Dad to return to Edmonton with her to be closer to my grandparents. There was always music playing in our house. My mom played piano, and she and Teddy would put on funk and electro records by artists like Rick James, Houdini, and Cameo. I would dance around the house alongside my older sister Gina and my younger sister Sierra. My parents had strong opinions about music, too. They used to call pop music la-la if it didn't have meaningful lyrics. If a singer couldn't actually sing, they only had a career because of studio magic that corrected their vocals. Teddy and Michelle seemed personally aggrieved when their favorite musicians didn't get their due respect. They were big fans of underappreciated R&B singer Phyllis Hyman and were devastated when she committed suicide in 1995. My grandmother was Dr. Mary Ann Miles, clinical psychologist and former president of the Psychologists Association of Alberta. She was from Harlem. My grandfather was Rollie Miles, an athlete originally hailing from Washington, D.C. He moved to Canada to play baseball, was convinced to switch to football, and became a Canadian Football League Hall of Famer and a legendary 3-time Grey Cup champion for the team now known as the Edmonton Elks. This helped to make my grandparents, my mother, and her 6 siblings arguably the most well-respected black family in the city. My mom was once falsely accused of stealing a record from Zellers by a mall security guard. After she told her father what happened, he had the chief of police drag the mall cop to their house to apologize. When people like Muhammad Ali and Duke Ellington came to Edmonton, they were introduced to Rollie and Mary Ann. After retiring from football, Rollie Miles worked at the Edmonton Catholic School Board, became a member of the 1978 Commonwealth Games Board of Directors, and was a principal with the Alberta Human Rights Commission. When he died in 1995, a field in town was named after him. That prestige didn't quite translate to financial security. My family was firmly working class. My mom did clerical work for accounting and law firms, and my dad hustled in a variety of ways, embodying the freelance lifestyle before there was a name for it. Much about my upbringing was unstable. Unlike my fellow students who lived in the same family home owned by their parents for decades, my parents rented and we moved from house to house with great regularity. My family background didn't help me much at school either. My otherness was made clear to me by the time I was in first grade. It was my birthday, and I got to go to the front of the whole class and write my favorite things onto a large sheet of paper. When my teacher asked me what my favorite type of music was, I excitedly shouted, "Funk music!" This befuddled white woman was horrified. "What did you say?" She thought I was expressing my appreciation for fuck music, whatever that would be. Later that same year, on the playground at St. Vincent Catholic School, a white kid took my Ninja Turtle action figure from me. It was Raphael wearing an astronaut outfit. I told him to give it back, and he refused, holding it above his head out of my reach. And then he told me, "Fuck you, nigger." Later that day, I found a discarded astronaut arm with a green hand near the jungle gym. The school did nothing, and my enraged parents removed me from St. Vincent. I tried Blessed Kateri for a year, and then switched over to Velma E. Baker for the rest of elementary. Once again, I was one of the only black kids. Once again, I was bullied by white students. One time, I put a kid in a sharpshooter or submission hold for picking on me. The principal called my parents. When we were out of view of the teachers, my dad high-fived me. I ended up making friends with some South Asian kids, and we played community league basketball together for the Meadows with my dad as the coach. I'm thankful that my family had a long history of black greatness for me to draw positive inspiration from. But it was my relatives closer to my age who helped to connect me to what was going on in the present moment. I'd go to my cousin Mario's house and listen to Wu-Tang albums that built worlds that were just as vivid as any Marvel comic book I had read. My sister Gina had redhead Kingpin posters on her